Hi guys! So I had a very interesting morning and I wanted to tell you about it because I think you'll find it kind of amusing. I didn't particularly find it that amusing. But I was in a specific store. I'm not going to say what the name of the store is. I don't want to advertise this as being a terrible store. It's honestly not a terrible store. I struggled a little bit when I first got to that store with, I guess I was putting off the wrong type of vibe with people in the way that I was, you know, the personality that I was portraying in my presentations. So I changed it up a bit and then people stopped being rude and, you know, I started selling really well there. Anyway, first presentation of the day, there's like maybe 5, 6 people at the booth. This one specific lady, she's on the corner of my booth. As soon as I get up from doing the last like final announcement to get people over for the free gifts, I get up. Before I've even said anything else, I literally got up and said, oh, sorry, they make me do that. She literally says to me, well, you've talked yourself up, so this free gift better be amazing. This is literally how she said it to me. And I didn't, you know, some people come on strongly and they're not intending to be that way, so it didn't really cross my mind that she was actually being aggressive at all. So I was literally like, oh no, I'm scared. And I think she kind of got me there, like, you know, I was playing with her. I wasn't saying it like, oh, I'm scared now, bitch. It was more like, oh no, I'm scared. And I was just like being on her level. And then she was like, well, it's not a piece of crap, is it? Or something like that. And I was like, no, there's value behind the reason that I hand out the free gifts, which I'm going to explain right now. And by this stage, I was kind of like, well, by the way, my name's Emily. It's nice to meet you all. And then I totally forgot to like bring him in close to the counter and everything because this lady had totally thrown me off script. I had no idea where the hell I was. So I just go straight on to explaining how, you know, I have a surprise for you guys. I can't do the surprise for everyone who comes in here today because I don't have enough left. So effectively the free gift doubles as your ticket for the surprise. It just lets me know that you got here first, blah, blah, blah. As I'm trying to explain this, she's like saying all this stuff to this lady next to her, and she's just talking, and I was just ignoring her by this point. A couple of people had also said at the start, is this going to take very long, because, you know, I've got shopping to do, and I'm like, no, I don't hold hostages, it's absolutely fine. I hand out the free gift straight away, and then I move on, and you don't have to stay if you don't want to. Something to that effect. And then, Then a guy turns up late, and I haven't even handed out the free gift yet. I've just finished explaining what it does. Now, this lady wasn't even listening to me when I was explaining what it does. She was still talking to the lady next to her. I don't know why. Anyway, this guy turns up late. He jokingly says, oh, can you start again? She starts going, God, no, don't start again. Please don't start again. And I was just like, you're in a good mood today, madam. And I said it because when in situations like this, you need to make jokes with the person who's giving you a hard time. Otherwise, you're going to look like a twat in front of everyone else there. So when you make a joke with him, it's meant to be hint, hint, chill out, mate. What's your issue? I didn't have an issue with you. I hadn't done anything to this lady. I don't know what her issue was. Anyway, when I finally, I tell him the catch to the free gift which is you need to act a little bit more excited about them. They're free. Yay. And then she's still moaning and complaining, and I was like, well, madam, you get yours first for being so excited. And I'm handing them out to everyone. I'm saying, yeah, blah, 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 this is your ticket for the surprise. Don't lose it, whatever. And she's like, she interrupts me again, and she's like, is this the free gift? And I was like, yes, it is the free gift. It's also your ticket for the surprise. And, I still at this point didn't really have any issues with her. I know she was coming across as aggressive, but by this stage it wasn't like I'd been at work all day and that I had been dealing with people like her all day and I was just fed up and wanted to snap. This was the first presentation of the day. I was kind of just more like, okay, yeah, this is happening. I'll let it ride out. It'll last a couple of minutes, and then everyone will leave early, and then I can chill out for 15 minutes, and I'll be fine. Then I'll do another presentation. Everything will be fine. I wasn't bothered by this lady at all, because, you know, shit happens sometimes. And sometimes there's people out there who are going to act disgustingly towards you for no apparent reason. And sometimes you just got to deal with it. And I was actually surprised that no one else in the group was just telling this woman to shut up. She's trying to get them all on side. And they're just looking at her like she's annoying the shit out of these people. That they actually started leaving. Not because I'd given them permission to leave by saying I don't hold hostages. Because they stayed even after I said that. They started leaving when she was bitching and complaining. And talking to this lady next to her while I was trying to explain what was going on. Then... after I said, yes, that's your free gift. It's also your ticket for the surprise. She was like, what? This is a joke, right? And she's laughing at me. And she's like, this is outrageous. This is ridiculous. And she's using all these big words. And I was still pretty chilled out. She's like yelling at me. And my mind was like past the point of being blown that I was just kind of numb, like, really? So, she's like shouting at me. And then, I can't even remember, I think I blacked out at this point. Because that's how severe this situation was. I think I just shut down. Because she said something, probably to the effect of, this is a joke, I'm leaving. And then I said, because everyone else was leaving at that point as well. Because as I was, trying to move on to the next section of the presentation, which was bringing out the full-size version of the product, which I was actually meant to be demoing with, I just move on, and I'm letting this woman start ranting and raving, and I'm just trying to move on. And then she turns back to me and she said something else. So then everyone's leaving because they're getting pissed off at her because they can't hear what's going on. Well, they can't hear what I'm saying. Now, I should have just said to her, madam, I will call security on your ass if you don't shut up. Because if it was any other staff member in the store, if she'd spoken to them that way, which she wouldn't have, the only reason she spoke to me that way was because of the sales role that I was currently in. I wasn't just some member of staff walking around helping people with stuff. I don't know what she was expecting. I thought that I think the issue is that she wanted an amazing free gift, obviously, because that was the first thing she said. And she didn't like the fact that it was taking me 60 seconds before I put it in her hand. Now, if I just put it in her hand just to get rid of her and be like, yeah, here, take this, leave, and put no value behind it whatsoever, not explain what it did, not explain that it was a ticket for the surprise, she would have had the same reaction, which is, this is ridiculous, this is bullshit, this is outrageous. And she would have been just as angry. And it would have ended in the same conclusion, which was that I turned to her and I said, madam, my time's kind of important here. I work on a schedule. So if you don't want to stay, that's fine. Then she leaves. And there's one guy, bless him, this old man, he stayed behind. And he was waiting for his wife to come back because he wanted his wife to see what it did. And I was like, I'm so sorry, sir. He's like, no, that's okay. I think my wife's going to come back and watch it. And I was like, no, it's okay. If you want, you can just take a free gift for her. And that's absolutely fine. And he's like, oh, okay, thank you. And then he leaves. Then I'm standing at the booth. And by this point, I wasn't even feeling confrontational about this woman, which is weird, because usually when I get confrontational, my heart will start beating really fast, I'll start shaking, and I'll get really angry. I wasn't even angry. I was laughing. I was kind of like, at the point where I was just standing in the booth like, this. Did that just happen to me? And I was like trying to call my friend, and he wasn't answering his phone. And I'm trying to call the boss to explain what happened. Then I see this woman as she's leaving the store, and she's yelling to every staff member in the vicinity how this is outrageous and this free gift is bullshit, and I insulted her and she's gonna complain, and how could they employ someone who's gonna insult their customers, etc. Bloody blah. She wants to speak to the store manager. She gets the store manager's phone number and she's heading out the door. Then she sees me, sees that I'm not pissed off. She sees that I'm just kind of like smiling at the booth. Then she starts shouting at me from across the store. And she's like, I shop in here every week, and I know that this isn't a very busy store. She's like, I know that you can't afford to be losing people in your job. And I was just like, I don't even work here. And then she was like, and you insulted me, and you insulted everyone else who was there, which is why everybody left. I felt like saying, no, they left because you're a nut job woman. Then she yells out, she yells out how like I was insulting her and stuff, and I wasn't yelling back at her. I was speaking to a volume that she would be able to hear me. And I was like, how did I insult you, madam? Because I honestly wanted to know. I wanted to know what comment I specifically made that insulted her. Because I thought I handled the whole thing pretty chilled. Because I honestly didn't care. First presentation of the day means nothing to me as to whether she ruins it or not. I've got the whole rest of the day to sell as many packages as I like. Anyway, she couldn't even provide an answer as to how I offended her. She couldn't say what insult I'd said to her. I don't see how I was insulting. The way I see it, no matter how I would have handled that situation, would have resulted in her wanting to complain to the manager. Because if I'd just stayed really like, okay, madam, well, that's okay, you don't have to stay if you don't want to. Here's your free gift, blah-de-blah, I'm all being all fake with you. She would have hated me anyway, because she would have known what I was doing. Second of all, I kept it real with her. Clearly she wasn't cool with that either. Third of all, I wasn't going to be all right, madam, well, I understand your concern right now. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to call the manager. If you want to speak to him about it, that'll be fine. No, I don't roll that way, hooker. I'm real with you. And I wasn't rude to you either. I made jokes that were not insults. They were jokes that we're trained to do in order to ease tension if someone's causing tension in the presentation. Those jokes are designed to make other people in the group feel comfortable again after someone's gone and your presentation. There was no, what's the word I'm looking for? Provocation. There was no provocation for her to say any of the things that she said to me. No provocation for her to yell at me. I don't know what she was expecting when she came to get a free gift. Clearly she was just ungrateful because the free gift, I don't know what she was expecting. I don't know. A free gift is a free gift. By the way, I didn't accost you at the door when you were leaving. I invited you over to my gift counter for a free gift. Now, if you don't have time, which I don't believe was the case, a few of the other people, sure enough, they didn't have time. That's fair enough. They didn't have time. I don't understand why they came to the presentation if they didn't have time to wait 30 seconds for a free gift, but they came anyway. Now, she had time. You know how I know that she had time? Because I told her she could leave if she wanted to, and she didn't. She stayed because she was looking to pick a fight with someone. I don't know. Maybe someone ran up the arse of her car that morning. And she was very angry about that. And she needed to take it out on someone. So she took it out on someone who was in a vulnerable position. But I don't respond well, usually, to disgusting behavior like she was giving me. And I was actually really surprised at how chilled out I was in that circumstance. Because if it was any other staff member, they would have called security. Now, bear in mind, there are no security guards working in that store. But I could have easily called a Service 100. Now, that's what you call when a customer is either stealing something or being very threatening towards you. And every single staff member in the store, if they hear a Service 100, they run to where the Service 100 is sending them to. I could have called a Service 100, but I didn't. You know why? Because I thought, you know what? If you're having a bad day, that's fine. You're entitled to have a bad day. She was not entitled to speak to me the way she did. I let her get away with it anyway. Perhaps I should have just called not security, called maybe the store manager to just remove her from the store because she was being very threatening. Yeah, so that was how my morning went, and then the rest of the day went really well, and everyone was nice, and I liked that. You know why? Because I'm a nice person. I invited these people over for free gifts. They were all really cool, like, yeah, free gift. Okay, it's not what I expected, but it's a free gift. It's the ticket for the surprise. Okay, I want to see what this surprise is. I'm going to hang around. Hey, that package is awesome. I'm going to buy that package. And that's how the rest of my day went. And that's how people are supposed to treat salespeople like me. Because I don't know whether this lady clearly knew it was a presentation as well. I don't know what was in her head. I think she was just a bit mental, maybe. Anyway, that's how my morning went. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye!